Hello and welcome to this series of videos where I'll be covering the core concepts of Python and their understanding via implementation using Python. This video series I'll be covering the very basics of Python. So anybody, even though the language will be Python, but anybody else, anybody who is looking to get some knowledge of object-oriented programming for any other language as well should get benefited out of it. The reason for me to choose this it was to kind of refresh my own memory and also make sure that I'm in touch with the basics of the language because it always helps to refresh even though the concepts are very trivial. This will be the first video of this series, and I'll be covering a theoretical knowledge of classes and objects to start with. And then from there onwards we will get into the more complexities and more advanced concepts. I'll be also covering the famous four pillars of object-oriented programming, that is abstraction, encapsulation, and inheritance, and then polymorphism. Now before we get started with learning what are classes and objects, let's try to first understand what is the need of classes and objects as such. So let's take an example. Say for example, we have a function called calculate salary, which by the name as it suggests is a function that can be called for an employee to calculate the salary of the employee. Now in a normal program or in a normal scenario, this function can be called ideally should be called for an employee, but it can also be called by an instance of student, or somebody who is not an employee can also access this function. But it wouldn't make much sense, and we want to have some sort of restrictions put in so that the access to this function is only available to employees or relevant people rather than to everybody else. So that's where the concept of classes and object comes into picture, and it helps us placing this function within a particular box or a restricted area where it is only accessible to the employees and not to any other entity like student. Now let's understand what classes and objects by definition mean. So classes are logical collection of attributes, and methods or objects are instances of the class. A class can be considered as a template or a framework, while an object is the implementation of that template, or the object is a kind of derivation of the class or of that template. So at the time of creating an object, what we are doing is to actually giving life to a framework or a pattern that the class is defining, and that concept is called object instantiation. A class, when it defined, can contain attributes and methods. So let's get into defining, and let's see how to basically define the attributes and methods, and how to for that matter, let's see how to define a class. Now when we are just getting started with the object oriented programming concept, it's pretty simple to understand this concept and divide the program into this way. There are three things that we need to identify when we are trying to implement any class. First thing is the noun, which is the name of the place or animal or a thing which will be the name of our class. So a noun will be the entity which will designate what our class stands for, or the name of the class, like I mentioned. The second thing that we will need to look for is the adjective, which are the properties that further define the noun, or which basically help extend the capabilities or help project the capabilities of the noun. So those will be the attributes of our class. And the third thing which we need to look for is the verbs, which are the actions that are performed by the noun, which will be the methods of our class. So now that we have got an idea of this definition of class, let's move on and try to implement an employee class and instantiate it to create an employee, and check if the employees have met their weekly sales target. So okay, so let's define a class called employee, and within that class let's try to defines some attributes of the class. Uh, let's say the sales made or sales made this week. Okay, let's say the sales made this week is an attribute of the class, and I'm defining it as 6. Then what else for an employee? What else could be the attributes for an employee? Let's say name, of course, is an obvious attribute for an employee. Let's say the employee name is Mark, and then another attribute could be the designation of the employee. Let's say the designation is sales executive, and then another attribute could be number of working hours. Let's say the number of working hours are 40. Now these are some of the attributes that we can define for the employee. Let's say we and again, as the objective is to check whether the target for the weekly target, sales targets, have been met or not. So let's say we have a function that actually will check that attribute. So let's say we have a function has achieved target, and within this function what we will have to check is the sales made count. So this basically will designate whether the target have been met or not. So if self dot sales made this week are greater than let's say our target sale is 5. So if it is greater than target sale, then we can say print target has been achieved. And if the target is not achieved, or if the sales made are less than the target sale, target has not been achieved. So yeah, this is the function definition. Now let's try to create an object of this class and try to see how the object behaves. And for that I will be defining a main block. It is not mandatory to do that, but I try to keep a uniformity in the code that I'm writing, and defining a main block and writing our code within the main block always helps to keep the structure or retain the structure of the code. So that's the reason, otherwise it's not mandatory. So let's create an object, let's call it as employee1, and it will be an object of employee class, and I will call the function directly using this employee. And it does not expect any arguments. Of course, apart from the self argument, which is implicit. So okay, so let's try to run this code and see what happens. Yeah, so it says target has been achieved. So so this is how we can define a class, and this is how we can call a method of this class. And also, if you want to access the attribute, let's say I want to access the name of this employee, so I can do that using or calling the name of the employee like this, name. Okay, and let's try to see what happens now. So yeah, as you can see, the name gets printed and also the target information gets printed. Now the problem here is, if I define let's say another employee and I call the same function, and again basically I also print the name, then let's see what happens. So So if I okay, sorry about that. So save. Yeah, so the problem now is when I'm creating a second object of the same class, because the attributes are kind of hard coded in the class, it does not make much sense, because every time I create a new object, it is basically the same person and the same information in all the attributes. So this is not probably the right way to use the class. In the second video, we will move on to the next concept of attributes and instance methods and instance. So basically, instant attributes and static attributes and instance methods, where we will see how we can use the classes the correct way, so that whenever we create an object, each of the object has its own set of encapsulated information, where each of the object will have its own each of the employee should ideally will have its own name, will have its own designation, will have its own other attributes as well. So we will be seeing that in the next video. Hope this introductory video was useful, and I'll be creating similar videos and continue this series. Like I mentioned earlier, the objective is to get into the very core and basic concepts of object-oriented programming using Python. And yeah, I just hope this will be useful for somebody who is just getting started. So thanks a lot for being with me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you. Thanks a lot.